9080 things that are not socially acceptable today. Okay, this will be an amazing one. But before I go into that, can I ask you for one thing? If you can leave a like, thank you so much, my friend. This is the best way to show support. If you can subscribe, well, in that case, forget about it. You make my day. Have that in consideration. Now, link for the original video in my description. You guys end up recommending this one quite a lot, and I believe I have a lot of people that grew up in the 80s, so this could be an amazing one. Let's play it.
40 years ago, things were very different. MTV was just catching on and Atari was still very popular.
No, wait. We start well. MTV was catching on. Dude, MTV became popular here in the early 2000s. How crazy is that you guys had MTVs in the 80s? Okay, that's crazy.
We didn't have all the constant news in our face, but our social media was hanging out with friends and family.
Ah, the good times.
Some of the things we used to do would probably get you arrested now.
Really?
Safety standards in cars were pretty well absent. The regulations were more like mild suggestions rather than rules or laws. Nobody wore seatbelts and many people just wondered why they were even there.
I don't believe it.
As a kid...
Okay, how true is this, my friends? The part of the seatbelt? Because it's not the first time actually I take a look at a video similar to this one and they say, yeah, seatbelts was not really a thing. They are there, but no one uses them. How true is this? Please explain in the comments, because that's wild. I love it. You guys are crazy, but it's kind of wild. Okay, because the thing is, if there is no seatbelts, I understand. You guys have no option. But if there is seatbelts, please put them. Can we agree? This is amazing. I love it.
You could sit in the middle of the bench seat up front and control the radio.
Oh, DJ.
If you wanted to see over the tall dash, then you could just simply stand up. Heck, Dad may have even placed you in his lap so you could help him steer the car.
No shit.
It was also common to see kids just packed in the back of a station wagon or maybe in the bed of a pickup truck. Car seats were available for purchase, but rarely would you ever see one in a car.
Wait. Wait. If you guys did not bought this, how do you guys carry babies? Actually, don't answer, because now I'm imagining without a seat. Oh, this is bad. Okay.
If your car was packed with kids, then it was usually easier just to leave them in the car and then go into the grocery store and shop. Most people just left the windows rolled down and the kids would be just fine.
Yeah.
Kids were very active, and it wasn't uncommon just to tell your parents you were going outside to play, and then you would disappear for most of the day, if not all of it.
Okay, I relate to this.
It was always easy to tell where all the neighborhood kids were just by glancing at someone's yard and seeing the collection of bicycles.
Oh my god, I also relate to this. Okay, fascinating. I grew up in the 90s, because I was born 89, so I'm kind of a 80s kids also, if you really think about. But I grew up in the 90s, of course. Good times also.
If that wasn't seen, then most of the kids would knock on their friend's door to see if they were home.
Dude, I don't know how this was in America, but having a bike end up giving you some status. Yeah.
Home, and if they wanted to come out and play. If you went around riding bikes, then you certainly didn't wear a helmet. Most people couldn't even see these in stores to buy, and if you could, they wouldn't have even wanted them. Same thing with elbow pads and knee pads.
You know what? I have even a better take on this one. Okay, so maybe in the 80s you could not even buy an helmet, right? But here you could. But if you buy one, that's weak move. You know the status I was talking about? You automatically lose all that status if you become with a helmet. Then that's bad. And you probably get some type of bullying. Yeah, I'm speaking the truth. It is what it is.
Kids just thought it was cool to show off your latest injury or skinned knee. If you happen to be too far from home too late, then no problem.
Oh my god, and in America you guys even played with aliens? Yeah, gangster.
Find one of the payphones that were all over the place, and if you didn't have change, then that wasn't a problem either. Your parents knew when they got the collect call.
You have a collect call from.
I'm at the community center.
Do you accept charges?
This
Your mom
one
and
I don't
Dad would
relate.
just come and pick you up and load up the bikes if you had them. Otherwise,
Okay, sorry. Okay, so this one I don't relate, but let's stop
I'm
it right
at
there.
the community center.
Do you accept charges?
One
your
thing,
mom and dad
my friends, am I crazy or those wagons look amazing? I know you guys do not like wagons anymore. They are quite popular here in Europe, in Portugal. And Audi, BM, of course, the best brands. Oh man, they are so beautiful, and they sell very well. It seems like you guys prefer SUVs, right? And I also like it. Don't get me wrong, but I actually isn't this a beauty? Or you guys know that's an ugly car? I don't know. I dig this one. You know, yeah, I know Marge Simpson drives this, but I like it.
would just come and pick you up and load up the bikes if you had them. Otherwise, your parents just expected you to be home by the time the street lights came on.
True.
Smoking was still very big, and parents smoked in the home and in the car with kids still in it.
I
Secondhand
also
smoke
remember
was
this.
just something that everyone had to live with, and most people weren't worried about exposing it to kids. It wasn't uncommon to see
And I think smoking is even worse, or today for sure it's even worse. But even back in the day, I believe was even worse than was also worse than in America.
people just smoking
Europe.
away in restaurants, and most of them probably didn't even have smoking sections. Things were so different back then that there were cigarette machines in front of some stores and restaurants. No ID
Okay, we have machines like that here, but nowadays you have to ask for them to unlock the machine.
check or anything, just insert the quarters and pull the knob. It was also a time when kids would run to the convenience store and pick up some essentials. Sometimes those essentials were cigarettes, and all we needed was a note from mom or dad and a blank check.
I did this actually.
Consider
Not for my parents; they did not smoke, but for I told this story already. We had some people doing some construction in the house, and they liked the cigarettes a lot, and my dad bought them, and I was the guy picking. Yeah.
Considering how most people were about smoking, it's not surprising that alcohol would be much different. Alcohol wasn't something that kids enjoyed, but I'm sure many tasted it just to see what it was like when parents offered it.
Okay.
Being a latchkey kid was perfectly fine. Parents were busy working and doing other things, so it was quite common to see kids at home by themselves or watching younger siblings until they got home. Parents just
Okay, so again, this is true. I also remember being at home alone. Not a lot, to be honest, and my grandpa lived very close. But that said, so actually, some updates, my friends. I'm a father already. My child was born yesterday. I'm not sure when I will upload this video, but actually not yesterday, today, because I was after midnight. It was after midnight, 19 February. I'm the happiest man in the world. And everything went well. My wife is also doing tremendous, and the kid is tremendous. And thank you so much for all the messages. I end up leaving a photo on the YouTube tab community, and you guys all end up sharing amazing words. That said, going back to the video, I don't see myself doing this to my kid. No chance. Nowadays. You know what I mean? But back in the day, it was kind of normal. Nowadays, I don't know. I cannot do it.
thought if kids were old enough to dial the important numbers or 911, they were responsible enough to be at home alone. Physical punishment was also something that was viewed very differently. Paddling or swats from parents
This my parents they told me that they suffered a lot with this stuff, but I did not. I had a teacher that liked to pull or air, but it was nothing crazy. You know what I mean? Be quiet, something like that. But it was rare, and it was a old teacher.
its family, or teachers was considered completely reasonable if the kids misbehaved or were disrespectful. Punishment was usually swift and painful.
But you guys have had a tool for that. That's crazy.
Peanut allergies certainly were around back then, but kids still brought peanut butter sandwiches and peanut products to school. Peanut and other allergy bans weren't a thing. EpiPens didn't hit the market until 1987, so if you had an allergy, you just had to hope you didn't die. If you were a teenager in the 1980s, then you didn't have Instagram or Snapchat. Your social media was hanging out at the mall with your friends. You could do a little shopping, eating, and a whole lot of hanging out. Parents would allow their kids to roam the mall by themselves for hours.
Oh, wow.
Kids may still go to the mall today, but not quite as much. If they hang out there all day now, they might accuse you of loitering.
My friends, I have a take. I have a take, and I really need you guys to back me up on this one. I believe the world was better without internet. Yeah, I said it. I don't care. Kind of ironic because I'm putting this on YouTube. But I said it. I really believe that, and I'm thinking more and more about that. I really believe if there was an option to, you have to pick an option, the world without internet or with internet. I think if you are smart, you go without. Am I crazy? You guys tell me in the comments. You know what I mean? Because I think social media does not add anything positive. You know, I thought, for example, video calls was a great invention because there is people that have family that is very far. All of that I thought was a great invention, but I think the internet ended up going to a place that is a bit dark nowadays. You know what I mean? Maybe not for people that are, I'm 30 years old. A lot of you guys are my age. A lot of you guys are older. I don't think our generation feels this stuff that much. But the younger generation, I think, really gets very affected. Am I crazy? I don't know. I really believe the world. And I grew up without internet. And come on, it was amazing.
Chickenpox parties were something that many people had long before there was a vaccine.
What?
Most people felt it was best just to get chickenpox out of the way so you wouldn't have to worry about it later. If one kid started showing signs, then it was time to gather every other kid who hadn't gotten it for a good old-fashioned party.
Okay.
The PG-13 rating didn't exist until July 1st, 1984, and prior to that, they got away with a lot more. People realized that there was a huge gap between PG and R. If you take a look back at the movie Airplane, which was PG, you'll understand how wide this gap was. The movie was filled with a lot of adult humor in it, and it even showed some nudity. On August 10, 1984, the action film Red Dawn starring Patrick Swayze.
Wait, I mean, maybe I'm crazy. No. I thought this was Charlie Sheen for some reason, but I don't think it is.
Dawn starring Patrick Swayze and Charlie Sheen became the first
Okay.
ever PG-13 movie to be released in theaters. Over the last 40 years, there have been many changes, not just in technology, but in regulations on what we can and cannot do.
That's true.
Most of the younger generations do not realize how many changes have taken place during the 80s and have continued to do so. I hope you enjoyed this little walk down memory lane.
Oh, I really like it.
Thank you so much for watching.
Why don't you come up here, Pumpkin?
What are you doing, Larry?
Well, Vince, I've asked my pumpkin to sit on my lap to prove a point.
And what is that, your Larryness?
Even if we fasten our safety belts, even if you hold on tight, even if you were watching the road,
Huh?
in a crash, your pumpkin will be nothing but a squash.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Use child
What
safety
was
seats.
that?
We love that little pumpkin to pieces.
Okay, Joey, it's a wrap.
Hi, I'm Joey Lawrence if you need a break. After I'm done here, I get a ride home. But the thing is, I will only get into a car with someone who wears their seatbelt. You see, kids like me usually do what the driver does. If they don't buckle, we don't buckle. Sounds pretty dumb, huh? But it happens, just like accidents. Give a kid a break. Buckle up. Your life.
Buckle up. Yeah, that guy. Oh, that guy should be the president of America nowadays.
And theirs is in your hands.
Light it up, drag it down, blow that smoke all around, dragon lady. Dressing fine, acting cool, what a shame you're a fool, dragon lady.
You're smoking, ooh, you know it just ain't cool.
Girl, where you going with that dragon breath? When you walk in a room, no, they can't stand the fumes. Ooh, dragon lady.
I love America. And even the ads are amazing.
Tell me, baby,
Tell me, baby.
why you smoke that trash?
Why, girl?
Everybody's saying
Woof.
you ain't got no class.
Can't you see what you are? You're a drag, yes you are.
Dragon lady,
A message for you and me from the American Cancer Society.
don't be a dragon lady.
Okay. Wow. Oh, my friends, I have so much fun reacting to this stuff. I hope you also have, and if that's the case, leave me a like, and yeah, see you guys next time. And that's it for today, my friends. Hope you end up enjoying this video. If that's the case, do not forget to leave a like. Also consider to subscribe if you are new to my channel. And also let me remember you about one thing. I have a Patreon community. I put videos there a bit earlier than I put on YouTube. So if you want to support me and have access to early content, go to my Patreon. I will leave a link on my description. Take a look at that. You can also scan the QR code you'll be seeing here. And that's it.